Yes, my brothers and sisters of darkness, it is time to talk about the travesty that is religion. I'm aware that some might see this as a preachy rant, but this is a personal tale about how religion can spark creativity, as well as how fall from grace can do the same. You see, my friends, once upon a time I was actually a believer. Yes, I was a child of God. Maybe not the kind who regularly went to church every Sunday or who knelt by the bedside every night and recited the Lord's Prayer, but a God-fearing Christian all the same. I was also a child/teenager who by this time was really invested in art. With pencils I drew dramatic scenes from imagination, I wrote and illustrated amateur comics, and my father started to learn me the basics of oil colors. And incidentally, it was actually a book owned by my father that contained my earliest inspirations. It was a huge 1,000-page volume with facts about the most famous artists of old and high-quality prints of their most prolific works, from the Renaissance towards the 19th century. Some of the most influential masters for me personally were the German painter and art theorist Albert Dürer, the mysterious Hieronymus Bosch, the religious landscape painter Albrecht Altdorfer, and additionally illustrators by the likes of the French artist Gustave Doré and the poet and prophet William Blake. By now I must sound like a soul of pure innocence, devoted to celebrate the glory of God with my art. Well, no. You see, ever since I was a child, I've always had a fascination with the dark side of life. Even if I sometimes had guilty conscience because of this, I still couldn't shake it off. Consequently, my art leaned towards the macabre and a lot of inspiration from horror movies. It was kind of a comfort zone, and still is to this day. In the 90s, I became an avid fan of comic books. I especially became a fan of Todd McFarlane's Spawn. The main story is inspired by Christian mythology, but a lot of focus on the kingdom of hell and its superior power over heaven, which was a little offensive to me since I still had my faith at this point, but McFarlane's fantastic artwork and fascinating storytelling kinda took a precedence of that. Anyway, at first, all of this was just normal, morbid fascination, but this had a long-term effect on me. During my studies of the Bible and reading all the stories many times, I came to see the violence and brutality in a different light. I also saw the hypocrisy and all the contradictions. Why would a loving God give humanity free will, but still command you to worship him? How could a supposedly omnipotent God not foresee his own regret of creating humanity and solve the problem with drowning an entire planet? Why would the loving God order massacres and warfare when he was the one who presented the commandment, "Thou shalt not kill," in the first place? Furthermore, when I was thinking about additional Christian mythology, it dawned on me that the former angel of God, Lucifer, Satan, was an inspiring figure. His goal was to be independent, he strived to shape his own destiny, walking his own path, creating his own legacy. And how can that be anything other than honorable and motivating? As a result of all this, my faith started to develop cracks. A seed of doubt had been planted and it grew bigger every passing year, until finally, in 2014, when I was 31 years old, I renounced God and religion completely. This affected my art too. It started to contain a blasphemous edge to it. At first, it was a way of coping with my doubt and loss of faith. Later, it became both a creative outlet and a manifestation of my growing anger towards organized religions. I think it becomes apparent if you look at some of my art from just a few years back. In a way, I owe religion my art journey. My faith created imagination, opened my eyes to fascinating imagery that inspired, and built a foundation for my future path. However, the loss of faith refined my style. It gave me purpose and direction. It unveiled a rich, dark mental landscape that forever will hold me in its grip. and I wouldn't want it any other way. Maybe I needed God in the beginning, but never again. How about you, my brothers and sisters? Have you had the same experience as I have, or do you see me as an irredeemable blasphemer? In any case, please feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. If you want to see more art-related videos, please hit the subscribe button, or just give this video a like. And I end this rant with this piece of advice. Shape your own destiny. Don't be a slave. Be your own God.